The Canadian Spousal Sponsorship Program is how a Canadian citizen or permanent resident can bring their spouse or partner to live in Canada permanently. My name is Tanzina Akter. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and RCIC IRB. If you are planning to sponsor your spouse to live in Canada, then this video will help you understand the whole process clearly. Let's get started. In this video, I will explain the Canada spousal sponsorship process in a simple way. We will talk about who can sponsor a spouse, who can be sponsored, and whether an inland or outland application is right for you. I will also explain if your spouse applies directly for permanent residence or comes to Canada on a visa during processing, along with processing times, key documents, common reasons for refusal, and the benefits after permanent residence. Now let's talk about who can become a sponsor and what's the eligibility requirement to sponsor a spouse or a partner. To sponsor your spouse in Canada, you need to be at least 18 and be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. Permanent residents must be living in Canada, while Canadian citizens abroad just need to show plans to return once their spouse gets PR. You also need to show that you are not on social assistance and that you can support basic living expenses. In most cases, there is no fixed income requirement for spousal sponsorship. Now let's talk about who can be sponsored under the Canadian Spousal Sponsorship Program. Under this program, you can sponsor your spouse, common law partner, or conjugal partner if they are at least 18 years old. Simply put, a spouse is someone you are legally married to. A common law partner means living together for at least 1 year without marriage, and a conjugal partner is a long term relationship where living together or marriage was not possible due to specific reasons. Spousal sponsorship applications are mainly two types, inland and outland. Inland and outland depend on where your spouse is living. If your spouse is outside Canada, you apply through outland under the family class. If your spouse is already in Canada with valid status, you apply through inland under the spouse or common law partner in Canada class. In short, outside Canada means outland and inside Canada means inland. Now let's talk about the documents you need for your spousal sponsorship application. You first need to complete and sign the required application forms for both the sponsor and the applicant. You also need identity and status documents such as passports, birth certificates, and proof of the sponsor's Canadian status. One of the most important parts is proof of a genuine relationship, including a marriage certificate, photos together, communication records, and joint documents showing shared life. The sponsor must also provide financial documents like a CRE notice of assessment, employment or pay records, and proof of not receiving social assistance. Finally, you need police certificates, a medical exam, and photos that meet IRCC requirements. Let's move on to processing times. As of December 9, 2025, spousal sponsorship processing times depend on where your spouse is living and whether you are applying in Quebec or outside Quebec. Outland applications take about 12 months outside Quebec and around 34 months in Quebec. Inland applications take about 19 months outside Quebec and around 35 months in Quebec. These are estimates and may vary by case. To sponsor your spouse or partner to Canada, the total government fee is $1,205. This covers the sponsorship fee, the application processing fee, and the right of permanent residence fee. If you include dependent children, there is an extra $175 per child, and if biometrics cost $85 per person, valid for 10 years. Fees are paid directly to the government and can change. A spousal sponsorship application can be refused for a few common reasons. For example, if documents are missing or incorrect, or if eligibility requirements are not fully met. It can also be refused if there is any misrepresentation, if the sponsor cannot show they can financially support their spouse, or if the relationship is not clearly proven to be genuine. A spouse can apply for a visitor visa during sponsorship processing, but it's a separate application and approval is not guaranteed. Visitor visa requirements and temporary intent still apply. If you need professional guidance for your spousal sponsorship application, you can reach out to me. I can help to review your case and prepare the right documents and also guide you through the whole process with clarity and confidence. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped clarify the process for you.